Whoa! What have we here? A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the driver proceeded to back out of the yard. Barely stopped before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
No wonder the cafeteria manager seemed frustrated when he was giving us directions to the yard. Well, you did provide us with a very convenient access point to the crime scene.
Boomboxes wait.
And here you are, quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play in it.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying. You press the large button marked Commencer and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. Then the organ starts playing a simple telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons. Within seconds you know this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. A click. Then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. Yup, they're all here. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your gut. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you, the lieutenant looks at you as you remove. The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years. Dripping water falls from a high place. There's rust and corrosion on the bar.
No, I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's...
This partner of his, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some others.
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting...
You see a once bright mural towering above you.
Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinaise? I'm Tran Heilestam. You must be Kim Kitsura.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, hypertext, young carp, and the collection of cultural hyper. Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was... No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grant. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play...
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its...
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells...
Hold on. What's R&D? It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass.
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with RTD.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld still. Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing, and it was here in Martinaise, possibly in this very building. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet. Indeed.
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very... All of this was built by Feld, even a boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinaise proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinaise was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of... Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about...
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
tape computers. They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being, what's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bombessier. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention. Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-look.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dump? He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and...
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to... In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionary setting of... Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as... Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. But of course, what else? Sure, what's on... But of course, what else? I do have some money, yes, but that's not...
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Of course, Detective, I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine... If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for... No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain.
Pick your brain, if anything.
Hello, I'm Gary. How do you... Yellow Man! I mean...
The lieutenant raises his eye. Yellow man. Interesting.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization. I like nature, just not this bloody coast.
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong.
He pronounces Revachol with a serious question time. This man is no innocent.
I like to pronounce it the hard way.
The stupid way? He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it. It's a secret rite, a very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about.
So you do know.
No, nothing. He was some kind of mercenary.
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
My mug? Why would you think that? Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone. Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away. You're not going to find me, are you? Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering. I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a map so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could.
Disgraced. No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Officer, please. Let me explain. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes. Then I came out to clean up the rags, because no one else would. I put them into the work. Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away.
Right. It was just civic.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty. Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
I hope I could help your investigation.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. Morel doubts a rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
We don't really do that around here.
Perhaps we should have more such decisive action in Revacol. You know, this city used to be a flaming rhino once. The flames are not just for decoration. During the burning rhino's mating season, local peasants call.
The lieutenant sighs. It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels. Some even spiritual.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. No problem at all.
Is he? He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of...
Why would I do that, officer? But, officer, I'm not wearing any women's... Sure do, officer. In my home. Yes. When I was going to... Mr. Clare unlocked my apartment? So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll... What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me. Whatever it is, tell him I'm silent as the grave. I was probably I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to...
This scared him proper. He's positively melting.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation. That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together. as if something is ready to. No, he's scrawny. Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I was ashamed of what I did. And
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. This shame.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got...
No, you've got explaining to do.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me.
We're detecting sincere contrition here.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you were tying it.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain's navy.
They were thoroughly conservative men. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic. He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view.
Because I was weak.
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later. I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore.
This is all he knows.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
The white ceramic cuirass hugs your torso, shielding your vitals without adding much bulk to your form. The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. 2. Are you sure you're correct there? There was a helmet too. 3 pieces more like. It may be a while before you have all the pieces. In the meantime, remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some...
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers. To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn waterlock is broken.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice waterlock.
You broke the waterlock with a motor carriage? There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in. Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find. Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, and I suspect it may have also developed other specialized techniques to protect itself from... It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain but I cannot describe how these defenses...
Yes, it makes perfect sense. A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological. I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So, typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoology. Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all... Not yet. That's what makes it a crypt...
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by...
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly.
What would it be like to grasp and hold onto something you think is next to you, or just behind you, like a trace of vapor you exhaled one spring morning as a child? This is what he's searching for. A spectre.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically.